been looking at moving my cryptocurrency into. I'm going to be using this one. I've used it before. Dash Core, and Dash Core is basically the whole core, which is about 63,000 gigabytes. I have a USB drive coming, which is 64 gigabytes. However, I'm going to be pruning the core. In other words, I'm not going to be using the whole thing because um, I don't need it. So pruning basically means you're only using the last, I don't know, 10%, 20%, depends how much you want to hold in your desktop for whatever reason. So you don't have to use as much memory um, to hold your cryptocurrency, to have your wallet. If I can, I'll show it to you online how I do it, and yeah, you gotta put these seed a phrase, which is your seed. It's a lot easier, I think, before to be able to just come out with simple words like bat, boy, case, TV, or something like that. I think you need to use stronger, more different words. Even though it doesn't matter, because a word is a word, and it doesn't matter if it's a three long or characters long or 10 characters long. It doesn't tend to matter anymore as much as it did before a long time ago. Computing power is just phenomenal, and I know that storing crypto in these wallets. I mean, Exodus is a pretty good wallet too. I've used it before, just small amounts, a couple hundred here, couple hundred there. CoinNummy, I've used that one. I don't, it's a corporation, and corporation tends to keep files and they keep records, and I don't like them having access to my crypto, which is pretty private. That's one of the reasons that it was probably created for. And you want to keep a certain amount of privacy. And security is a big problem because I know that there have been, and I don't think they show here, it's brain wallets. Brain wallets, basically you remember your phrase and you restore it from a phrase. You can salt it. Salting means adding a password, to it. But it was broken. People were able to break into those kinds of wallets. So if they can do that with passphrases, and this was like 5 years ago, I remember reading about it. Today, with today's computing power, now the thing about it is like there weren't too many people into trying to break brain wallets, and trying to break into any wallet is pretty. Most people don't think that it can be done, but like I said, with today's computing power, the world could be just a target for people to exploit. So, what do you do? The thing about keeping a phrase in your closet and a safe, you gotta make sure that it's pretty fireproof and pretty. If it gets wet, it's not gonna crumble, and it can resist a strong fire, perhaps a tornado. It doesn't get taken away with a tornado. It can, especially if you live in a flood area or a tornado alley. Those are probably concerns. Houses burning down, they don't burn as much as they used to, but if you get a hot fire, it could melt the metal that you stamp your seed phrase into. what else can you do? I mean, having two passwords and two separate addresses, like, one in this house hidden away in some place and another one in my, I don't know, my brother's house in another state, having access, somebody having, given him, so he can store the keys in his house, and, you run the chance of, a rogue family member getting access to it. And, it just becomes, I think the one of the things that when I got out of the crypto, when I sold my crypto and came back into the regular markets, was that it was safer in a way. I didn't have to worry about keys. I didn't have to worry about, oh my God, how do I get this thing back? And you kind of sweat sometimes because you got everything in one. Or a couple, and you start losing your mind after a while. Especially if you have big amounts, and even in small amounts. People work for $20,000 to 20,000 for somebody, $10,000 for some people. It's a lot of money. For some, 5,000, depending where you live and what country you live. For some people, pennies are very important to them, and it's a big issue. However, I do want to get back into crypto. I am going to leave some Grayscale, and I am going to keep some stocks, producing in the my regular Schwab account. I just wanted to talk about this. Let's check the markets real quick since we're here. Let's see what's going on. Everything's kind of red today. Yesterday we had a little bit. This was showing a little bit more green. It just kind of seemed like the altcoins were kind of turning around a little bit. But we're still not. We're kind of on a bearish cycle for now. I mean, Bitcoin's still a bull market for me. Everything else is still, we're still not there. We never really got there. Like I say, we have another, area to fill over here, and it might just go higher, and then we get a big decrease, maybe. You never know. Are things going to go back the way that we're going to have another crypto winter? But usually things don't repeat themselves, especially when you've had two good streaks, and we kind of have had two good streaks. The third one may not work out too well, and we are in the third one. Or it may take off from here. Things don't repeat themselves too much, 3 times, and there may be a fourth time, but not as. We're not gonna see those numbers. My personal opinion, I got nothing to. I cannot prove it with anything. It's just my feeling that we're not gonna go back to those numbers probably ever again that we saw, especially with the Grayscale Trust, unless they dilute them more. Which is, it's, they're not big trusts. They're not, like the gold trusts. GBTC is bigger, yeah, but all the other ones are smaller trusts, and they're not as famous. We're not, we're not the big fish in the pond, basically, on the Grayscale on these trusts. Yesterday I mentioned Warren Buffett. He's got something like 28%, I think it is. 28.1, I think it was, percent in cash. So he knows something. If it's this year, maybe next year, maybe the following year, there is a chance for the markets to just collapse. And that's when he's going to take, he's probably going to buy into them. So 28%, which is, I don't know if it's the whole 28% of what? I'm not sure. It can't be the whole 28% of Berkshire Hathaway. He would have had to sell a lot. I don't know. It might be personal money or something. Number seems high, really high. Unless he's been selling a lot, which I think he did. He got rid of, I think, Wells Fargo. He got rid of a couple others too. He unloaded. I can't remember. What I'm thinking about is getting into Dash. This is not technical analysis. This is just historical view. I don't get into the cup and handles and the teapots and the arm head and shoulder. I know about them. They never made any sense in anything that I did before. And this Warren Buffett can tell you the same thing. They're meaningless. Technical analysis. You just gotta go with what you know. And this is Dash. This is back in 2021. Dash was all the way to like 450 at one point, and right, something like that. But it's we got that winter, and here we are. Here we are. This is right around April of this year, and it came down, and then we had a little bit of a run up in what was that, November, and here we are again. What's the chance of this going up now? Besides the coins that they're regularly mining, okay, we don't have. Looking at the crypto here, one crypto coin, we don't have management fees. There's no one charging me a fee for keeping my crypto in Dash. Okay, I don't have to deal with dilution, shared dilution. I don't have to deal with people. With private placements and what are they going to do to the prices. I don't have to deal with basically rug pulls. The only one that I have to deal with is the hacker. He's the only one I got to watch out for, and you got to keep keep a pace up on the hacker. They're not going to come and say, "Oh, we're confiscating your currency, your coins." Dash is not going to come and say that. The government cannot confiscate this. If I tell them that I don't have anything, I don't have anything, right? Not that I'm, I mean, I would need a lawyer in order to tell me what I should do or not do if it comes to that point. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't have to tell anyone how what I have. It's like real estate. You don't have to tell anyone what you have except the guy who's loaning you the money. You don't have to tell the IRS that you own 70 properties or whatever. You don't have to be saying that it's private, and this is very private. Especially Dash. It's you mix coins. It costs you a little bit of a fee, but it's very minimal to mix your coins, and then you're pretty, nobody can pry and see what you're spending your money on. This is pretty private here. If I want to take this out, I can take it out, and nobody's going to be... the only ones that are going to give me a problem are probably the banks that they want to know where I got my... they in a way, banks, accountants, even lawyers, they're really agents for the government. They're not agents for you, even though you're paying them. Yeah, private eyes. They don't work for you. They work for the government. They're the eyes of the government. I hate to say that, and it's no conspiracy. It's just that's the way it is. If I do something illegal with cash or something like that, my accountant's supposedly he has to report me to whatever. Same thing with other things. Not that I've done anything. Not that I've done anything in my life, but I just don't like that they could. Okay, guys. This is Dash, and I mean the potential of this thing. Just if it goes up here, this is. I mean, you're talking about 10x or 1,000%, which is nice. It'll then I'll get my $1,000,000 back. And in the meantime, okay, moving right along here. Okay, guys, that's all I gotta say for now. Sorry for the long video.